Good morning, everyone. We'll start off with a prayer, and we have Pastor John Baird, who's with the Word Ministries, and we're honored to have him again. And
well, gee, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I always think to myself whenever I come here, wouldn't it be cool if every meeting, no matter how big, no matter how small, if our leaders would always begin it by worshiping God in prayer? What a different nation and world we'd live in. You know, they always indulge me and let me talk for a few minutes before I pray. So it's part of my narcissistic personality. So if you'll just bear with me here for a minute. But really, I think it's important as we're between these two holidays of Veterans Day and Thanksgiving that we remember, as thankful as we are for our freedom, that freedom always comes with a price. And Jesus paid the price for our eternal freedom from our sinful nature. And many people have died, so that we can have the freedom that we have today, defending our nation and other nations. And those heroes and heroines are really why we have the freedom to worship or the freedom to not worship, if that's what we choose. And when we look around the world today, we don't really have to look so much at the current events going on in Paris, but can look around the globe and see the violence and the terrorism. And I truly believe that we're living in the times of Joel 3:10, where it says you're going to have to beat your plowshares into swords and beat your pruning hooks into spears. But the good news is that we can be thankful for it. It tells us later that Jesus will come back again. And when he does, we're going to do just the opposite. We're going to beat our swords into plowshares, and it says we will learn of war no more. And so before we pray together, I just want to leave you this thought. And as public servants, don't get so caught up in your public servanthood or whatever that you allow people and things to get into your head and take you away from your own personal alone time with God. Concentrate on God and not just those people and things that you think might be coming against you, because the only ending to any situation in your life that matters is the one that you and God come to together. So don't let anyone ever dim God's light inside you just because it's shining in their eyes. So if we can all bow our heads. Father, we just thank you today, Lord, for this time together. Lord, I personally thank you and want you to know how honored I am to come here among these people that begin this meeting in prayer. Father, we just ask that you have your way here in this meeting today and in this community, Lord. I lift all the people that are involved in everything that's taking place here today up to you. I lift up the desires of their hearts, Lord. I pray your protection over these public servants and their families today, and I pray it all in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right. Bless you.
Y'all,
Good to see you.
Join us and pledge allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. David, before you sit down, we have a proclamation. And so, Judy, we can let the record show too. Commissioner Humphreys unable to be with us today. Unfortunately, he's ill. And we pray for his quick recovery on that as well. And gentlemen, why don't you all come up? Good. All right, we have a proclamation. It's for Pearl Harbor Remembrance Week here in Clermont County. It says, whereas on December 7th, 1941, fighters and bombers appeared above the skies of southern Oahu and without warning commenced to attack the United States Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor. Caught by surprise, the brave individuals stationed there, which included a number of persons from Clermont County, rushed into action to defend their ships, planes, and comrades, base, and ultimately their nation. The devastating aerial assault lasted 2 hours, killing 2,400 Americans and injuring many others. And whereas today we remember with grateful hearts those who fought and those who died on that terrible Sunday morning. Their courageous sacrifices saved lives, and the stories of their unparalleled heroism galvanized our nation. And whereas, as Americans who enjoy the blessings of living in a free nation today, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to the brave men and women who defended our nation on that day in 1941. We are grateful for all who have answered duty's call in defense of our nation, and now therefore be proclaimed that we, the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, do hereby declare the week of December 6th through December 12th, 2015, as Pearl Harbor Remembrance Week in Clermont County. And further, December 7th, 2015 shall be declared Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day in Clermont County, Ohio, and in conjunction with the declaration issued by Governor Kasich, all flags on all government buildings in Clermont County shall be flown at half-staff from sunrise to sunset, December 7th, 2015. And we invite all citizens to join us in tribute to those who defended our nation on that fateful morning by joining us on Sunday, December 6th, 2015 at 2 p.m. at New Richmond Market Street School, located at 212 Market Street, where we will honor the memory of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Signed by the Board of Commissioners, Ed Humphrey, myself, and David Jubal. I want to present this to you all, and understand there's been a change of venue, though, too, on that as well.
Richmond Junior High, isn't it? Up
New Richmond Elementary, up at the top of the hill.
Okay.
By the high school.
Okay. Okay, I want to present this to you all.
Thank you.
And personally thank you. I'm sure you guys want to say a few words too. Y'all get up there. Whoever's going to speak.
Go ahead, Ken. You're the president.
Not much to say except thank you, and it's something we need to remember, and it will be remembered, and we thank you for your recognition. On behalf of the Clermont County Veterans Service Office. Bob, do you have anything?
I do have one thing. I'd like to give you a little bit of history. That's the advantage of being an old man. Kenny Dunaway from Felicity and Betty Henson from New Richmond back in 1987. They started this program, and that's where it comes from. So this isn't something that just came about and just happened, but they started it. And one reason I remember, I was county commander back in '82. I remember Kenny in '87, he was going through the chairs with us also. But it's been a great program. A lot of people have been involved with it, and we do have a lot of thankfulness that we have to give our good friend Ralph Shepard, who has taken it under his arm and carried it on for years and years. And I'd really ask that people come to this, and this is really quite a deal. And we have one thing this year, and it'll probably be the last one, and that's Joe Witt could be his last time. Joe had been in the hospital over in Fort Thomas. He's been fortunate he's come home, and as of this past week, I am attending, and he is our last Pearl Harbor survivor, and he is one of the very last Pearl Harbor survivors in the state of Ohio. Thank you.
He's actually, I think, the youngest.
He's the youngest. 92, I believe. 92. 92 or 93, you're right.
All right, we want to get a picture with you all. Unless anybody else wants to say anything. Joe?
No.
Oh, come on, you always say
Joe,
something.
Joe got the word.
Well, hey, I know that you folks are wondering, well, what can I do for veterans in Clermont County? And I'm going to tell you. If you go on to DAV.org, which is our National Disabled American Veterans website, you can join the Commanders Action Network. You don't have to be a veteran. You don't have to be a member of the DAV. You don't have to be the spouse of a DAV member. You can be a U.S. citizen. And you join that network, and immediately it's going to give you an opportunity. This year, there is no COLA increase for Social Security recipients. Veterans compensation is also tied to Social Security. So that means that there's no increase for veterans. But there is an initiative that the DAV started this year, and we're in the hopes that we can get it through. Right now we have 16 co-sponsors in Congress for the bill, but it would allow a one-time payment to veterans in lieu of an annual COLA increase of their compensation. And in most instances, that would average out for an annualized amount of $500 and change. So you think, well, that's not much money, but in some cases for our veterans, that is indeed a real amount of money that can change their lives for this year. So if you want to have the opportunity to do something, that's the opportunity to put some money back in veterans' pockets. And it takes you about, the letter's all pre-printed. The thing you have to do is indicate your zip code, and it'll key you into Brad Winstrop and to Sherrod Brown and Portman. And those letters will automatically go to those three and ask for their support. So, hey, sign up for the Commander's Action Network. In the future, if there's another initiative like that, you'll automatically receive an email that will ask you to take part in that national initiative. So I'm in the hopes that everybody in this room will sign up.
Joe,
Thank you.
What's that website again?
It's dav.org, www.dav.org.
Awesome.
I don't have anything about.
Oh, no way. I see a picture. Let's get a picture.
Let the seniors.
Thanks, gentlemen. I'm from the Clermont Sun. When we're done, I'll go ahead and get names outside. Okay? All right. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. I'll take a more. 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Thank you.
Don't move yet.
Good morning. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
If you all wonder who these gentlemen are, they're actually commissioners with our Veteran Service Commission, and which is absolutely the best veteran service commission in the state of Ohio. And we thank these guys for everything they do for the veterans day in and day out. So let's give them a hand too for what they do.
Junior high school.
Yes, there will be a thing.
Okay, that's absolutely. Right there, so you two, man. See y'all Sunday. All right, first item of business after the proclamation is Resolution 168-15 for the payment of bills. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. All right, item 3. Hey, Connie.
Good morning. Connie Tibby with the Department of Job and Family Services. Recommendation of Judy Eschman, the Director of Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute purchase of service agreements by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and the providers identified below for the provision of traditional foster care services, treatment foster care services, therapeutic foster care services, and independent living services, as specified below for children referred by the Department of Job and Family Services and/or Clermont County Juvenile Court at the rates as identified therein, effective January 1, 2016 through December 31st, 2016. Pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein and contingent upon the adoption of the annual appropriations for fiscal year 2016 and the issuance of purchase orders therefore. And this is for 4 separate contracts. The first one is Specialized Alternatives for Families and Youth of Ohio Incorporated. It's for traditional foster care services and treatment foster care services. The Marsh Foundation of Van Wert, Ohio for traditional and therapeutic foster care services. Adriel School Incorporated, West Liberty, Ohio for traditional and treatment foster care services. And this particular one is contingent upon the issuance of a current certificate of liability insurance. And the last one is Child Focus Incorporated in Cincinnati, Ohio for traditional and treatment foster care services as well as independent living services.
Is there a motion then to execute the reference purchase of service agreements with the contingencies as recommended?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for item 3.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 4, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eschman, Director of the Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute the Memorandum of Understanding for Human Resources Administrative Duties by and among the Board of County Commissioners, Clermont County, Ohio, and the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, DJFS, for the provision of reimbursement by DJFS to the Board of County Commissioners, BCC, for human resource services provided at DGFS by the Human Resources Administrator position, which is on the table of organization for the BCC, with said Human Resources Administrator to work solely on issues involving DGFS, and with said reimbursement to be for salary and fringe benefits, as well as any additional miscellaneous expenses to include but not necessarily be limited to memberships, training, and travel as deemed appropriate by DGFS. It's effective for the period of December 21st, 2015 through December 18th of 2016, pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the approval of the annual appropriations for 2016 and the issuance and the receipt of a purchase order therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced memorandum of understanding with the contingency as recommended?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 5, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman, the Director of Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute a memorandum of understanding by and between the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, Clermont County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and Clermont County Mental Health and Recovery Board to provide for reimbursement of costs to the appropriate county agency based on services provided to children in residential treatment and/or group home placements, as well as for intensive family reunification services for children who are under the care or custody court order of the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, Clermont County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and/or custody of their parents and/or legal guardians for an estimated amount of $50,000, effective for the period of January 1, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the adoption of the annual appropriations for fiscal year 16 and the issuance and receipt of a purchase order therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the reference memorandum of understanding between our Job and Family Services, our county's Developmental Disabilities Board, and the Mental Health and Recovery Board as recommended?
I will make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And 6, please.
This is also the recommendation of Judy Eshman with concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold to execute the annual support contract for end-user license and services by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and Sword Solutions Incorporated, DeWitt, Michigan, for fraud recovery and overpayment system tracking, known as the FRAW system, utilized by the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services Fraud Division at a cost not to exceed $855, effective for the period of January 1, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the adoption of the annual appropriations for 2016 and the issuance and receipt of a purchase order therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the annual support contract for end-user license and services with a contingency as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And boy, you have a lot of them. 7, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute a 4D service contract by and between the Department of Job and Family Services, Child Support Enforcement Division, and Timothy J. Morris, Cincinnati, Ohio, for the purchase of legal services relative to child support enforcement, which may include but are not necessarily limited to reviewing, preparing, and presenting cases for court hearings at the rate of $100 per unit hour for a total amount not to exceed 450 unit hours based on actual time worked for a total contract amount not to exceed $45,000 for the period of January 1, 2016 through December 31st of 2016. Pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the adoption of the annual appropriations for 2016 and the issuance of the purchase order required therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced 4D service contract with a contingency as recommended?
I'll make the motion for item 7.
Second the motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And 8, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman with concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute the 4D contract by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and the Clermont County Common Pleas Adult Predation Department, Batavia, Ohio, for the provision of intensive child support case management services on criminal non-support cases on behalf of the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Division at the rate of $46.55 per unit hour for an estimated 3,600 total unit hours for a total cost not to exceed $167,562.08 for the period of January 1, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the adoption of the annual appropriations for 2016 and the issuance and receipt of a purchase order therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the reference 4D contract between the county and our Common Pleas Adult Probation Department as recommended?
I will make the motion.
Second?
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. You want a stool or something? 9, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to approve the rescission of transfer of income maintenance allocation funding from the Clermont County Public Assistance Fund to the Clermont County Child Support Enforcement Fund in the amount of $97,318.50, heretofore ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on September 16, 2015, and in lieu thereof, to approve transfer of income maintenance allocation funding from the Clermont County Public Assistance Fund to the Clermont County Child Support Enforcement Fund in the amount of $112,097.47 to provide assistance in covering child support state match ceiling excess for Clermont County Child Support Enforcement, and further to execute the transfer approval form relative thereto, pursuant to and in compliance with Section 5705.14 of the Ohio Revised Code and Rule 51019605, Section H of the Ohio Administrative Code, therefore. And this action is necessary. There was a delay in the receipt of the random moment sampling figures, which impacted the calculation. So this is just to change the amount.
Great.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced agreement as recommended?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And 10, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold to execute the agreement by and between the Clermont County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, Children's Protective Service Division, Clermont County Mental Health and Recovery Board, Clermont County Juvenile Court, the Family Dependency Treatment Court, and Adams Recovery Center in Loveland, Ohio, for the provision of services relative to the hiring, training, and supervising of recovery coaches to serve family dependency treatment court participants that have children in the care and or custody of Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services in and as it relates to the Recovery Coach Peer Support Advocate Program in Clermont County, Ohio, with said agreement delineating the roles and responsibility of said parties for the implementation of the program therefore, in the amount not to exceed $25,000 with no local match required therefore, effective for the period of December the 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2016, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and in concert with the grant application heretofore submitted online to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services on September the 4th, 2015, by the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services entitled Child Welfare, Promoting Positive Outcomes for Families with Substance Use Disorder, with said grant application hereby acknowledged by the Board of County Commissioners therefore, and contingent upon the issuance and receipt of a purchase order therefore.
All right. Is there a motion then to execute the referenced agreement between the entities with a contingency as recommended?
I'll make a motion for item 10.
Second?
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Good job.
Thank you.
Hey, Dwight, item 11, please.
I have Dwight Culbertson with the Water Resource Department. I had 2 items to present this morning. The first was a recommendation of Heath Wilson, P.E., with the concurrence of Lau G. Bloom, the Director of Utilities with the Water Resource Department, to execute maintenance bonds in the amount outlined below as surety for the installation of water and sanitary sewer extensions to serve the following subdivisions. And the motion would include the Cross Point PUD subdivision in Batavia Township, the water extension bond at $3,100, the sewer extension bond in $6,200, with the Harris Ridge subdivision in Union Township, water extension bond $3,200, and the sewer extension bond at $6,400.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced maintenance bonds as recommended?
I'll make the motion for item 11.
Second?
Mr. Jubal?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 12, please.
Second item is a recommendation from myself with the concurrence of Lyle Bloom, the Director of the Water Resource Department, to execute an extension of contract by and between the County of Clermont County and Selco Partnership, doing business as Verizon Wireless, for wireless services and related equipment, collection system and appurtenances relative to the supervisory control and data acquisition system for the Clermont County Water Resources Department. This was previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on December the 7th, 2011, and subsequently amended on November the 12th, 2014, with an estimated cost of $11,000. That number is a little dated. The number that I have currently is about 16. We've expanded the system to include some additional data plan and some additional sites.
Okay, so our minutes will reflect 16 versus 11. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the confusion. For the second of two one-year extensions thereof, effective December the 7th, 2015 through December the 6th, 2016, pursuant to in compliance with Article 5 of the reference contract with all other terms and conditions, therefore to remain in full force and effect.
Is there a motion then to execute the extension of the referenced contract with a contingency as recommended?
So moved.
Second motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. No, you don't have 13. Thanks, Dwight. All right, 13, please.
Good morning. Agenda item number 13 is a recommendation from myself, Wade Grabowski, Director of Facilities Management, with the concurrence of Mr. Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute a contract for services by and between the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, and Vertical Systems Elevator Corporation, Cincinnati, Ohio, for routine and emergency maintenance service of elevators located in various county buildings in accordance with the scope of services as identified in Exhibit A attached thereto, and made a part thereof in an amount not to exceed $24,456 for the period of 11/1/15 through 10/31/16, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and contingent upon the issuance and receipt of the purchase order required therefor.
You need a little more reflection in your voice.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I love the enthusiasm. Is there a motion then to execute the reference contract for services with a contingency as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thanks, Wade. 14. Hey, Andy.
Good morning. Andy Kukta, Department of Community and Economic Development. Item 14 is a recommendation to execute change order number 1 to the contract with JD Contracting Services of Brooksville, Kentucky, previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 9/9/15 for project number 2014-02 relative to the Village of Williamsburg South 5th Street Sidewalk Improvements Project in concert with the CDBG program for fiscal year 2014, which represents an increase in the amount of $10,947.80 for a total adjusted contract price to date of $61,779.60 for additions, deletions, and/or modifications thereto as defined therein and contingent upon the issuance of and receipt of a purchase order. The construction quote came in well below the estimate, so Williamsburg asked to increase the amount of sidewalk being reconstructed and provided additional matching funds.
Is there a motion then to execute change order number 1 to the reference contract with a contingency as recommended?
I will make the motion.
Second the motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 15.
15 is a recommendation to execute change order number 1 to the contract with JD Contracting Services of Brooksville, Kentucky, previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 10/7/15 for project number 2014-03 relative to the Clermont County Community Services James A. Sauls Homeless Shelter Parking Lot Repairs Project in concert with the CDBG program for fiscal year 2014, which represents a decrease in the amount of $6,950 for a total adjusted contract price to date of $46,504 for additions, deletions, and/or modifications. Homeless shelter could not come up with some of the additional funds needed, so the scope was reduced, and therefore the cost was reduced.
Is there a motion then to execute change order number 1 again to the referenced contract with the contingencies mentioned?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And 16, please.
16 is a recommendation to authorize Commissioner Proud to execute grant agreement extensions number 1 to grant numbers BC 13-1A and 1 and BC 13-1AM2 by and between Clermont County and the Ohio Development Services Agency for the CHIP program for Clermont County for fiscal year 2013, ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 10/31/2013, which represents an extension of time for project completion thereof from 12/31/15 to 4/30/16, with all other terms and conditions set forth in the reference agreements through me in full force and effect.
Is there a motion then to execute the grant agreement extensions as recommended?
I'll make the motion for item 17.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. 17, please.
Item 17 is a recommendation to approve the request to join professional organizations and to authorize payment of the annual dues in the amounts outlined below for memberships therein, and to authorize reimbursement of routine travel expenses. This is for the Affordable Housing Coalition for $25 for the staff identified in the motion for the term of 7/1/15 through 6/30/16. The original approved version, which is in the minutes, somehow ended up with older dates for a term of 2014 through partial 2015, so this is just to correct those dates.
Just a correction for the minutes. Last time I said a motion for item 17, it was motion 16, so.
All right.
Now I'll make a motion for item 17.
Yes. I will second that motion to approve it.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. Thank you. 18. Hey, Lisa.
Recommendation of Lisa Gatwood, Director of Clermont Transportation Connection, with concurrence of Stephen H. Raybolt, County Administrator, to adopt Resolution 169-15, resolving to authorize the Director of Clermont Transportation Connection to file a grant application on behalf of Clermont County Board of Commissioners with the Ohio Department of Transportation in Columbus, Ohio, for the Ohio Transit Preservation Partnership Program in total amount of $150,000 with the required local match of 20% in the amount of $30,000, therefore to be provided from the Clermont Transportation Connection General Operations Fund, and to further authorize Robert L. Proud, Vice President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the Ohio Transit Preservation Partnership Program fiscal year 2016 application for capital non-vehicle requests in the amount of $150,000 pursuant to and in compliance with the Ohio Transit Preservation Partnership Program criteria for fiscal year 2016.
Is there a motion then to adopt resolution number 169-15 as recommended?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. 19, please. Thank you, Lisa.
Item 19 is a recommendation from John Cascade, DPSS Director, with my concurrence to authorize Commissioner Proud to execute the critical annual maintenance contract by and between the County of Clermont and Biddle Consulting Group, Folsom, California, for the maintenance of software through the Critical Elite Service Plan in concert with the Critical End User License Agreement for the Critical Multi-User 10-Seat Software System for the Department of Public Safety Services at a cost not to exceed $1,539, effective period of 11/29/2015 through 11/20/2016.
Is there a motion then to execute the critical annual maintenance contract as recommended?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. 20, please.
Item 20, recommendation of John Cascade, Director of Department of Public Safety Services, with my concurrence to execute change order number 2 to the client license and service agreement with Medical Priority Consultants, Salt Lake, Utah, previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 7/11/05 and subsequently amended on 2/14/07 for the provision of client licenses and services for the Emergency Medical Dispatch Pro QA software and flip card system, which represents 1, the upgrade of 11 Pro QA software licenses, 2, purchase of the Accelerator Service software, 3, purchase of the Aqua QA QI software, 4, purchase of the Aqua Discipline License modules, and 5, purchase of the Aqua Software Training 8-hour class, and 6, purchase of ESP Plus Platinum Annual Maintenance Plan is identified in the quote. Total cost of $14,304 pursuant to and compliance with terms and conditions.
Okay, you want to explain what the heck those are?
This is the medical dispatch system where our dispatchers, when a call for service comes in, and it's a medical call, the system, they type in with the description of what the call is about. Let's say someone's unconscious, someone's having a heart attack kind of thing. The system then goes in and gives them a bunch of questions while the call is being dispatched, not to leave the impression that they're waiting. And then the call is dispatched, and then they're allowed to work with the person who made the call and the system guides them through the levels of care that the person can do waiting for EMS to arrive. The flip card version of that is literally a flip card process, so that if something goes wrong with the computer system, they can go to the flip cards and it follows right down routine.
Is this the maintenance to the package that we approved last week, the week before?
Yes, sir.
The new system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a motion then to execute change order number 2 to the client license and service agreement as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Hey, Craig, 21, please.
Morning. Craig Reisner, Clermont County Engineer Office. Item number 21, recommendation of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to acknowledge the receipt of notifications from Patrick Monger, County Engineer, on 11/12/15 and 11/17/15, his determination to close the following roads to through traffic with the understanding that all advanced warning and detour signs will be erected and maintained accordingly, pursuant to and in compliance with section 5543.17 of the Ohio Revised Code. It's 2 roads, Birdsall Road, closed 11/16/2015 to 11/20/2015, and Laurel Moscow Road, closed 10/12/15 through 12/4/15.
All right, is there a motion then to acknowledge the receipt of notifications from our county engineer of the closure of the roads as recommended?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 22, please.
22 is recommendation of Patrick J. Munger, County Engineer, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute a contract for minor public improvement project by and between the Board of County Commissioners and National Gunite, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, for the repair of a culvert CC 68-36 on Laurel Point Isabel Road in Washington Township, in accordance with the scope and services identified in Exhibit A, attached thereto and made a part thereof, in the amount not to exceed $41,080. Said services to be completed within 75 days of contractor's receipt of contract and notice to proceed from the county engineer, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein.
Is there a motion then to execute the contract for minor public improvement projects as recommended?
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 23, please.
23 is the recommendation of Patrick J. Munger, County Engineer, concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to execute record plat number 6292946 for the replat of a lot in Weatherby Farm Subdivision, Section 6A, located within Union Township.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced record plat as recommended?
I'll make the motion for item 23.
I will second that.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 24, please.
24 is a recommendation of Patrick J. Munger, County Engineer, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to accept the following grant and assignment of storm sewer easement granted and assigned to the County of Clermont, Ohio, in and as it relates to the Miami Trails Stormwater District located in Miami Township, heretofore established and created by Resolution number 144-15, adopted by the Board of Commissioners on 9/16/15, and to authorize payment as compensation for the grant and assignment of a storm sewer easement. This is one of many to come. This is a storm sewer easement granted to the board by Mr. and Mrs. Wolf. I believe there's going to be approximately 90 of these.
90. Hopefully a lot of them will follow suit of Mr. Wolf, too, in the donation of the compensation.
Yeah.
All right. We want to publicly thank him, too, for the donation of the easement. Is there a motion then to accept the following, the reference grant and easement of storm sewer easements? And again, there's no payment, so.
I'll gladly make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And again, with thanks to the Wolves for the donation. 25, please.
Item 25, recommendation of Patrick J. Munger, County Engineer, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybold, County Administrator, to accept the contract by and between the County of Clermont and John R. Jurgensen Company, Cincinnati, Ohio, for project number BA0102 relative to the Elklick Roadway Stabilization Project located in Batavia Township, completed 5/21/15, and to approve payment number 5, which is the final payment, which represents release of retainage in the principal amount of $11,418.40, plus all accrued interest earned thereon relative thereto, and contingent upon the receipt of corrected affidavits of the contractor relative thereto.
Is there a motion then to accept the reference contract as complete and to approve payment number 5, which is the final, release the retainage, and all the accrued interest with the contingency as recommended?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. 26, please.
Item 26 is the recommendation of Linda Fraley, the county auditor, with my concurrence to authorize Commissioner Proud to execute the managed support agreement by and between the County of Clermont and Emerge Managed Solutions out of Erlanger, Kentucky, for the provision of strategic IT planning and interaction and reactive SLA service letter agreement-based critical support of the enterprise networking and server environment for the County of Clermont, as more fully described therein, for a total amount not to exceed $34,560. Including all charges and expenses therefore, effective 10/1 of 2015 through 9/20 of 2016, pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein.
Is there a motion then to execute the managed support agreement as recommended?
I'll make the motion.
Second the motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 27, please.
Item 27 is my recommendation to authorize the issuance of procurement cards for Max Bryant, an employee of the Clermont County Juvenile Court, Roger Long, an employee of the Clermont County Veterans Service Commission, and Kimberly Saz, an employee of the Clermont County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and to authorize Commissioner Proud to execute the request for issuance of a procurement card relative thereto, pursuant to the Clermont County procurement card policy and procedures adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on 6/22, and subsequently amended on 3/28 of 07 and 9/24 of 14.
Is there a motion then to authorize issuance of procurement cards for the referenced individuals as recommended?
I'll make the motion for item 27.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 28, please.
Item 28 is my recommendation to authorize Commissioner Proud to execute a bill of materials proposal with Cincinnati Bell Technology Solutions out of Cincinnati, Ohio, for the annual maintenance support of 10 NetAlert N-Focus software licenses for utilization by the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services in conjunction with the Master Software License Agreement and Product Schedule Amendment with NetAlert, a division of Candescent Software out of North Carolina, heretofore ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 11/5 of 14 for a total cost not to exceed $2,351.75, effective 11/20 of 15 through 11/19 of 16.
Is there a motion then to execute the bill of materials proposal number 55006916 as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And 29, please.
29 is my recommendation to adopt resolution number 170-15, resolving to request the county auditor to certify to the Board of County Commissioners the total tax valuation of the county and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated by a renewal tax levy in the amount of 1 3/10 mil for each $1 of valuation, which amounts to 13 cents per $100 valuation for a period of 5 years, to be placed on the 2016 tax duplicate for first collection in 2017, and for 4 years thereafter through 2021 for providing for maintaining senior citizen services or facilities in and as it relates to the submission of the question of the tax to the electorate of Clermont County, Ohio, at the primary election to be held on Tuesday, 3/15/16, pursuant to section 5705.19Y, in compliance with sections 5705.03B of the Ohio Revised Code.
All right. Is there a motion then to adopt resolution number 170-15 as recommended?
I will make the motion for item 29.
I will gladly second that.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Cindy, anything you'd like to say?
No, just I look forward to visiting you in the next month.
Of course, this is the first of 2 resolutions we have to do to place it on, but we're on our way. Awesome. Good. Thank you all. Item 30, please. Suki.
Morning, Suki Sheets with the Office Management and Budget. Item 30, last week we were here and we presented the appropriations. There was one minor change. I said we were going to look at, there was a couple of funds that we wanted to make sure if we appropriated at these levels we would be balanced. So there is one $45,000 to $47,000 reduction So the appropriations is a little bit less. It was in the law library fund. The revenues are kind of not coming in as expected, so we have to reduce what they're going to be able to appropriate next year. So with that, you have a request to adopt resolution number 17115, which will be the annual appropriations for fiscal year 2016, which is pursuant to and in compliance with section 570538 of the revised code. And the resolution also establishes the legal level of control for the 2016 annual appropriations pursuant to and in compliance with the Ohio Administrative Code, section 117502. We are setting the same legal level of control that we've had for the past several years, which is the salary group individually, fringes as one group, and everything else is a separate budgetary group for measurement purposes.
Okay, do you want to hit any highlights?
We did distribute the draft administration recommendation and haven't heard anything negative back, heard some positives. The departments are happy with what we were able to do going into next year. We talked last week about doing some reserve increases, and you'll see those here when I get to the financials. I've got a couple of them going this year.
Okay. You want to talk about, again, the 33%?
Right. Our reserves in general fund, which is our general fund unencumbered balance, as well as our budget stabilization fund, we have tried to keep that at a 25% of our operating expense level, which would allow us, in essence, 3 months of reserves in case something happened that was unforeseen and dramatic to the county. With the fact that our operating revenues are now so dependent on a volatile stream of revenues, which is our sales tax, we're now close to 50% of our revenues coming from sales tax. It's prudent to increase that reserve a little bit, so we're going from 25 to 33, which will give us another month of reserves. It kind of follows along with what the state had authorized 2 years ago, back in 2012, to allow counties to increase their budgetary stabilization portion of their reserves up to 16%. We're going to move our budgetary stabilization portion to 10 from our previous 5, and then the rest will sit in our general fund balance.
So sales tax is at 50%. Where was it before?
It was in the 40s. It was, it started when we first set this, we were just at about 40. So it's become a bigger percent as some of the other revenues are tapering off.
And based on the economy, it's more of an unknown, so therefore.
It's more of an unknown. It took the hit. It took one of the hits when the economy started impacting us in 2009. We saw it in sales tax.
Even with that, though, we are still blessed.
Yes.
In this county. I mean, what is the percent now for sales tax increase over last year?
Oh, we're up from this year over last year. We're up over 9%.
9%.
So it's a wonderful growth we've seen because of the years when we just saw little bits or declines. Sales tax this year compared to where we were in 2007, which was our last peak year, is way up. It's offsetting every other source of revenues that has fallen and not recovered, with interest being the biggest one that we haven't seen the recovery on.
Now, last week I asked what percentage, because I know car sales are way up, and it's a dramatic difference from where we're at, but Mary Raines replied to me last week that 17% of that sales tax is coming in from auto sales. Yeah, it was more, you said 10 initially in the meeting, but it was 17. That was good.
Right. So
it's good as long as it stays.
Auto sales, right? Auto sales. We talked last week that those are the sales tax that follow the residents. So it doesn't matter where they buy their cars. It will come back to Clermont County when they title it.
And that's why we really emphasize too that, especially during the holiday season, people shop local.
Shop local, right. And luckily, what we're seeing this year that's going to impact us a little bit more going into next year, at least on a year-over-year look, is the Amazon sales. I can't quantify for you, but we know that it's a favorable impact to us now that they're collecting Ohio sales tax.
Because they have bricks and mortars in Ohio.
Mortar now, right, which is a good thing. It still leaves the rest of the internet sales, but we'll take them as they give them to us.
Awesome. And again, with this budget, we adhere to our very fiscal principles of not appropriating any more than what the previous revenues were.
Right. We consider this one balanced because we looked at what we believe 2015 operating revenues will be, and we held 2016's appropriation to that level. So it's in our world considered balanced. So it allows us to take any of the current year revenue growth and put that back into our reserves to be able to build those up for additional things that may come up.
That's awesome. All right, with that, is there a motion then to adopt resolution number 171-15 for our annual appropriations as recommended?
I'll gladly make the motion for item 30.
And I will gladly second that.
Mr. Ubel? Mr. Proud?
Yay. And again, kudos to you all and the whole team.
Yeah,
and to all the elected officials and our department heads, because without their cooperation and, again, their fiscal responsibility that they have shown,
it's
it
nice
wouldn't
to
have
be
worked.
able to provide them something more than what we've had in the past because they work with us through the down times, and you know we share what we get as equitably as we can across the county, and with the understanding that there are certain areas that have a higher need than others. But so yes, I do appreciate the departments also.
Absolutely. And all the department heads, elected officials, and everything. We thank them for, again, for being on the team for this one. All right, 31, our financials.
31 takes us back to this year, 2015. Changes to the appropriation. You have 3 pages in front of you. A lot of these are a year-end shuffling for salaries and fringes. I'll go over every one if you want, or I'll just summarize where the major.
If you have any, just why don't you summarize the
Let me hit the major
big ones.
First of all, in supplemental appropriations, we have $4.1 million to increase the legislative and executive non-operating other expenses. This is so that I can do a cash transfer here in a minute to move out of general fund $3 million to our budget stabilization fund, which will bring it up to $5.3 million, which is 10% of our operating expenses. And it'll also allow $1.5 million transfer to the county capital, which we talked about in October when we did the county capital plan. That'll allow us to fund our county capital plan for the next 5 years and allow us to maintain the level that we need as a minimum in that fund. So that's in here. The rest, a lot of the supplementals you'll see listed net out to zero. CDBG entitlement fund is one that does require additional appropriations. They're going to draw some more of that 2015 entitlement money over and above what they had requested. So there's $15,000 in salaries, $5,000 in fringes, and $5,000 in other expenses. And then the only other one that's a real supplemental appropriation change is in stormwater, the Miami Trails stormwater, $4,500 for salaries and $2,550 for fringes. This is for, I'm sorry, this is not the Miami Trails. This is our general stormwater. This is to account for the contract that we did a month or so ago with Pat Monger for stormwater, where we had increased the rate. So this is the balance to get him through the year. Budgetary transfers are all just year-end salary adjustments, salary and fringe adjustments. Then we have our 2 cash transfers I just mentioned from general fund to budget stabilization, $3 million from general fund to the county capital improvement fund, $1.5 million. The reimbursement of funds are our standard public assistance transfers from public assistance to children's services, $702.07. From workforce development to public assistance, $25,988.63. From child support enforcement to public assistance, $33,135.05. And from public assistance to children's services, $20,064.84. And then finally, we have year-end cash transfers required for debt service on the special assessments, where the taxes levied have not brought in enough to cover the assessment. We've got from water revenue to the State Route 276 Mount Zion, Oakland, $6,526.70. And then from sewer revenue to the Middle East Fork sewer assessment, $20,769.91. And from the sewer revenue to the various 2000 sewer assessment issue, $20,698.78.
Any questions, David?
No.
All right, is there a motion then to approve the supplemental appropriations, the budget transfer of funds, or cash transfer, reimbursement, and cash advances as recommended.
That's the housekeeping. Make a motion for item 31.
Okay, which is Resolution 165-14. I'll second that motion.
It's in concert with 16514, which was our annual appropriations last year.
Okay.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thanks, Suki.
Thank you.
Training and travel, 32, please.
First, we have the Clermont County Court of Common Pleas. We have Judge McBride, 3 days, Dublin, Ohio. The 2015 Ohio Common Pleas Judges Association, estimated not to exceed $833.99. Prosecuting Attorney's Office, Marilyn Burke, 1 day, Richfield, Ohio. Academy of Continuing Legal Education, Election Law, estimated not to exceed $588.59. Clermont County Public Defender, Amelia Balliard, Christopher Feldhaus, Stephen Haynes, and Gregory Hoffman, 2 days, Columbus, Ohio. Ohio Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, 2015 Annual Death Penalty Seminar, not to exceed $1,412.48. County Sheriff, Barbara Sowards, 1 day, Columbus, Ohio, Law Enforcement Automated Data System Terminal Agency Coordinator Training, estimated to exceed 0. Yvonne Shepard, 1 day, Lexington, Ohio, the Ohio State Highway Patrol Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, total estimated 0. County Treasurer's Office, Treasurer True, Connie Bear, Donna Siegel, and Jeannie Zummerly, 1 day, Lebanon, Ohio, for the Southwest District Treasurers Association Winter Meeting, estimated not to exceed $140. Department of Job and Family Services, Nicole McClure and Julie Jordan, 1 day, Cincinnati, Ohio, Spirit Seminars Discovering the Diamond, estimated not to exceed $382.60. And Brenda Gilreath and Teresa Ellison, 1 day, Lebanon, Ohio, Ohio Child Support Directors Association, Cincinnati District Meeting, estimated not to exceed $94.05. Department of Community and Economic Development, Geographic Information Systems, Kelly Perry, 3 days, Batavia, Ohio, for the Environmental Systems Research Institute online course, estimated not to exceed $1,473. And Department of Community and Economic Development, Office of Public Information, Kathleen Williams, 1 day, Sims Township, Ohio, for the Sims Township Public Safety Center Rail Car Incident Response Training, estimated not to exceed $21.72.
Is there a motion then to approve our training and travel requests according to the county's personnel policies and procedures as recommended?
I'll make a motion for the training and travel requests.
Second motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 33, please.
I believe I need to hold off on 33 until after executive session, sir.
All right. David, we also have the minutes from November 12th and October 19th. And, yep, we all were there. So if you want to make a motion on those.
I'll make a motion for both the informal regular sessions from October 19th, 2015 and November 12th, 2014.
Second motion.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Court, we have a need for an executive session pursuant to section 121.22 G1 and G4 of the Ohio Revised Code. That's to consider the employment, dismissal, and discipline of one or more public employees. And 2, to prepare for, conduct, or review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation and other terms and conditions of their employment. Is there a motion to go into executive session for those reasons?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. We'll be back in a little bit. All right. Let the record show that we are out of executive session and back into regular session, again with no decisions made. And I believe we still have item number 33 of personnel actions.
That is correct. This week's personnel actions are in the Department of Community and Economic Development. Joseph O'Brien, a GIS analyst, ended probation effective 10/20. Department of Job and Family Services, Christina Askren, income maintenance worker 3, resignation effective 12/18. I have Amanda Brannock, income maintenance worker 3, step increase, end of probation effective 11/16. Carmen Hogel, social worker 3, step increase, end of probation effective 11/23. Denise Orchard, Swart administrator, probation, end of probation effective 11/16. Water Resources Department, Terry Ruggieri. WSD Operator 1, new hire, vacant position, effective 12/7. And Department of Public Safety Services, Deborah Ham, emergency resource technician, administrative leave, non-discipline with pay, effective 10/30.
Is there a motion then to approve the personal action forms as recommended?
I'll make the motion for the personnel actions.
I'll second that.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Do we have any add-ons?
No, sir. Yeah.
All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess, and as the minutes are being prepared. All right, we came back out of recess, and the minutes have been prepared, and David, have you had a chance to look at them?
I did.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of today's session?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 18th, 2015.
I'll second that.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And again, with no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thank you all. Again, God bless.